Right now, someone is taking advantage of your honesty. While you're busy explaining yourself, your reasons, your intentions, your side of the story, they are watching, calculating, winning. You think being transparent makes you trustworthy. You think if they just understood your reasons, they would respect you more. You're wrong, and the cost of that belief is everything. Every time you explain yourself unprompted, at work, in relationships, in negotiations, you are handing them a map to every weakness you have, and they are using it. Think about the last time you over-explained. You felt smaller after, didn't you? Not because you were wrong, but because you handed them power they hadn't earned. This video is not about being cold. It is not about lying. It is about understanding something that powerful people have always known and that no one was supposed to teach you. The game is already being played. The only question is whether you know the rules. They are winning because they stay closed, because they move without narrating their movements, because silence for them is not awkward, it is armor. You were raised to be open, to justify, to seek understanding. That was not kindness, it was conditioning. And today, it ends. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes. What you are about to learn has been weaponized against you your entire life. Now, it belongs to you. Let's begin. You have been told all your life that honesty is the best policy, that if you explain yourself clearly, people will understand, that if you share your reasoning, you will be treated fairly. And you believed it, because for a while, it seemed to work. But then came the moments it didn't work. The boss who heard your explanation and used it to undermine you in the next meeting. The friend who took your vulnerability and made it gossip. The negotiation where you laid out your reasoning and watched the other side adjust their position the moment they understood yours. It wasn't your fault. You were playing by rules you were taught, rules designed to keep you predictable, easy to manage, easy to exploit. Here is the painful truth. The world does not reward openness. It rewards strategy. It rewards mystery. It rewards the people who are never quite fully readable, because power flows to whoever controls what others know. Think of every person in your life who seems untouchable, who never gets pressured the same way you do, who walks into rooms and people move differently. What do they have in common? They are not easier to read. They are harder. This is not about becoming cold or dishonest. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. It is about understanding that what you reveal determines what can be given and what can be taken. The people exploiting your openness are not villains in every case. Many of them are simply operating on a different level of understanding. They know something you weren't taught until now. What they know is this: information is currency. And every time you spend it without receiving value in return, you are going broke, socially, professionally, relationally. The system was built to extract from you. Schools, workplaces, even some relationships, they reward those who explain, justify, and make themselves legible. Because legible people are controllable people. You are not the problem. The problem is that you have been operating with a transparency that the people around you were never operating with themselves. That asymmetry, that gap between how much you reveal and how much they conceal, is the source of your disadvantage, and it is fixable. What follows are the principles that will close that gap, drawn from a man who studied power, human nature, and strategy more precisely than almost anyone who has ever lived. A man who was both a Jesuit priest and a ruthless observer of human nature, who published his most dangerous work under a pseudonym because he knew it would be banned, who understood 400 years ago exactly what you are living through right now. His name was Baltasar Gracian, and the world was not supposed to have his books. But you have them now, so let's use them. Baltasar Gracian was born in Spain in 1601. He became a Jesuit priest, a master of rhetoric, and a student of human nature so precise that his order eventually silenced him. His masterwork, The Art of Worldly Wisdom, was published against the wishes of his superiors. It contained 300 maxims, each one a compressed weapon against naivety. He was not writing for kings or philosophers. He was writing for you, for anyone who felt the gap between how the world was supposed to work and how it actually worked. His philosophy was not nihilism, it was precision. He believed that the wise man plays the game, but plays it consciously, deliberately, on his own terms. And on the subject of silence, mystery, and self-disclosure, he was more precise than almost anyone who came before or after him. This is what Gracian wrote, and this is the line that should change the way you move through every room for the rest of your life. Never open yourself to all, for it is unnecessary to reveal yourself to your friends. What need is there for that? And impossible to hide yourself from your enemies. Read that again. He is not telling you to be deceptive. He is telling you that openness serves neither your friends nor yourself and delivers your enemies exactly what they need. This man was silenced by his own institution for writing this, and yet here you are, 400 years later, reading words they didn't want you to have. Now let that mean something. Now here is what it means in practice. Every word you say unprompted is a piece of intelligence you hand to someone who may use it against you. This is not paranoia. This is the first law of strategic communication. Think about the last time you over-explained at work. Your boss asked a simple question and you gave them a paragraph, your reasoning, your doubts, your process, and afterward they managed you differently. Why does this happen? Because the brain reads unnecessary explanation as insecurity. When you justify without being asked, the listener's subconscious registers one thing: this person is not sure of themselves, and they adjust accordingly. Starting today, answer the question that was asked, nothing more. If they want to know more, they will ask. Silence after you've spoken is not emptiness, it is authority.
I answer what was asked, nothing more.
The most magnetic people you have ever met share one quality: they are not fully knowable. There is always something more to discover. That quality is not an accident, it is a discipline. You know the feeling. Someone enters a room and you immediately want to know more about them. You study them, you wonder. They have offered just enough to draw you in and no more. Contrast that with the person who tells you everything on the first meeting, their career, their problems, their plans, their fears. After 5 minutes, you feel you have fully seen them, and what we have fully seen, we stop paying attention to. Starting today, reveal one layer at a time. Give people something to come back for. Your depth should feel infinite, even if you're simply disciplined about the order in which you share it. When you justify a decision without being challenged, you are submitting to an authority that has not yet even spoken. You are preemptively defending yourself to a judge who hasn't entered the room. You have done this. You sent the email with 4 paragraphs of explanation when 3 words would have done. You arrived to a dinner and immediately explained why you were 5 minutes late, when no one had yet said a word. The psychology behind this is simple. We justify because we fear disapproval. But disapproval is rarely the result of what you did. It is the result of how much room you gave it to form. Starting today, make your decisions and move. If someone has a problem with your choice, they will raise it. At that point, you can respond briefly, firmly, without apology for the reasoning itself.
I make decisions. I don't seek permission.
In any conversation, the person who speaks last or least holds the most power. Not because silence is passive, because silence is disciplined pressure. It forces the other person to fill the space, and what they fill it with reveals everything. You have experienced the discomfort of someone else's silence, how you rushed to fill it, how you said things you hadn't intended to say just to stop the quiet. That is the weapon, and you can learn to use it. The reason most people can't hold silence is because they confuse it with absence. But silence is not nothing. It is the loudest signal in any room. It says, I am not desperate for your approval. Starting today, in every negotiation, every difficult conversation, every moment where you feel the impulse to justify, pause, count 3 seconds, then decide whether the words add value. Often, they won't. Information asymmetry is the foundation of every advantage in human relationships. The person who knows more and reveals less always holds the upper hand. Gracian understood this so completely that he built his entire philosophy. In your life, this plays out in salary negotiations where you revealed what you needed before asking for what you wanted, in relationships where you showed all your cards before they had shown any of theirs, in conversations where you told people your plans before you had executed them. Why do we reveal plans before executing them? Because we want validation. We want to be encouraged. We want someone to tell us the idea is good before we invest in it. That need for pre-approval is one of the most expensive habits a man can have. Starting today, let your results speak. Execute first, reveal after. Bring the finished work, the completed project, the signed contract. Let the outcome carry the announcement, never the intention. One of the most expensive things you can be in a world that watches you is consistent. Not consistent in your values, but consistent in your patterns. When people can predict your reactions, they can engineer your outcomes. You know someone who always reacts the same way to criticism, who always becomes defensive in the same situation, who always concedes at the same pressure point. They are the easiest person in any room to manage. That person may be you. The psychology, predictability is a survival mechanism. It makes us feel safe to others, and feeling safe to others feels good. But it is not safety. It is a cage that others helped you build. Starting today, introduce variation. Respond unexpectedly. Say yes where you always say no. Stay silent where you always speak. Let people recalibrate their read of you and enjoy the power that comes when they can't. The deepest source of over-explanation is need. When you need the job, you over-explain in the interview. When you need the relationship, you over-justify in the argument. When you need the approval, you volunteer your reasoning before anyone asks. Need makes you legible, and legibility makes you manageable. Every person who has ever exploited you did so by first understanding what you needed and then positioning themselves between you and it. Gracian's answer was not to eliminate desire, it was to hide it, to want things privately, to pursue them without narrating the pursuit. The man who appears to need nothing is always in the position of strength. Starting today, practice desire without declaration. Want what you want, but pursue it privately. Stop telling people what you're after. Let your arrivals be surprises. You are the destination, not the pursuit. You have been silent long enough. Not because you had nothing to say, but because no one gave you the language. Now you have it. The old you is dead. The one who explained, justified, volunteered, and begged for understanding from people who were using your transparency against you. That man is gone. What replaces him is not cold. What replaces him is not closed. What replaces him is strategic, intentional, measured. A man who chooses what to give and gives only what serves his purpose. You are a weapon pointed at your own future, not at others, at what you are building, at where you are going. And weapons do not explain themselves to the targets they have not yet reached. You belong to no one, not to their expectations, not to the need to understand you, not to the version of you they built in your absence. You belong to your own strategy. Every great strategist in history understood this. Caesar did not explain Gaul to the Senate until it was won. Michelangelo did not show the unfinished David to critics. Every man who ever built something worth building kept the blueprint private until the building stood. The room you walk into tomorrow, they are going to try to read you. They are going to use the same tools they always have, and for the first time, you are going to give them nothing to work with. Not because you are hiding, not because you are afraid, but because you understand, finally, that mystery is not the absence of substance, it is substance contained. Gracian gave you the key 4 centuries early, through silence, through imprisonment, through an institution that wanted his knowledge buried, and here you are, in possession of it. What you do with it is the only thing left to decide. If what you heard today landed, if something in you shifted, then you already know whether to subscribe. I am not asking you to, I am telling you what this channel is. This is a space for men who are done being the most legible person in the room, who are done explaining themselves to people who never deserved the explanation, who are done losing games they didn't know were being played. Every week we go deeper into Gracian, into Machiavelli, Seneca, Sun Tzu, Epictetus, into every thinker who has ever looked at the mechanics of human power without flinching and written it down for you. If this is what you came here for, the button is there.
Use it or don't, but either way, take what you learned today and walk differently tomorrow. And before you go, one question for the comments. Think about it carefully. What is the one thing you have been over-explaining your entire life, and what would change if you stopped?